Now, here's another thing to keep in mind. I mentioned earlier the scenario of a veteran borrower assuming that loan. But the person assuming that VA loan does not have to be a veteran. It can be someone without VA entitlement, or it could be a veteran not looking to burn their VA entitlement. Now, this makes it attractive because anyone now can assume that really, really low interest rate, but be very, very careful. If a non-veteran or someone who does not use VA entitlement assumes that loan, your seller's VA entitlement will be indefinitely tied up in that mortgage, right? And that could be a really long time. Let's say they're only 3 years into a 30-year mortgage. That mortgage would, if that exists for another 27 years, they won't be able to use their VA entitlement for 27 years. That's a long, long time. Now, how does that entitlement get restored? They could, the buyers of that property, they could sell the property, they could pay the balance down, but they're probably not going to pay the balance down ahead of time, right? They could refinance, but when is realistically the next time we're going to be able to refinance an interest rate that's 2.625, and let alone lower than that, right? So realistically, they'll probably be tied up in that loan forever. So just be mindful if you're advising your borrower or your seller about that. Okay, so lastly, it is going to take a long time for that assumption to take place, more than likely. I have heard stories of assumptions going pretty quickly, but here's the problem. The investor or the servicer who holds the loan, your seller's loan, if they're going to supervise that assumption, they actually need to take an application from the buyer, right? They're kind of going to originate a new mortgage for them, but they're not going to make any money off of it, right? This is not a money-making activity for that servicer time. I've heard of stories of VA assumptions taking 70, 75, 80 days to close. You need to be mindful of this. Now, the VA requires servicers to perform this assumption faster, but the VA also doesn't really have an enforcement mechanism to make this happen. There's no way to hold the reluctant or the slow investor accountable if they decide to just sit on it. If you have any other questions about assuming a VA loan, please contact me. I will leave my contact information in a comment below and in the video description. Thank you so much for watching.